Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Threesome Fantasy Euros pod, our fourth episode as we approach the quarterfinals with much excitement. I'm here with Mike, who, for those viewing, is seemingly just a sofa. Are you okay, Mike?
Lying prostrate on the sofa, yes. I've put my back out, and as a result, I'm struggling a bit, but delighted to be here. Before we continue, can I start by asking you about the glasses you're wearing this evening?
Yeah,
You've suddenly
sure.
become you're now bespectacled, and I'm just intrigued as to why. Because you don't need glasses.
Cool. Do you want to go off on a tangent already?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. Well, should we bring in? Okay. So I had an eye test at a high street store. I don't know. Call them. I don't want to, advertise. So let's call them Peck Savers, which is another gym I go to, and so they said that I didn't have bad eyes, but one of my eyes is slightly flatter than the other. So this one here is a slightly bigger lens.
So just to be clear, they said you don't need glasses, but these would look nice on you.
No, they said you do need glasses because my right eye wasn't as good as viewing. We did like the eye test thing,
Right.
like you got the letters, you got bigger to smaller or whatever. Smaller to bigger it was actually. And the top line, I thought it was a trick. I thought they were all dolphins. And so I suggested that was the answer. And he said no. So they are letters. So anyway, yeah, I ordered some glasses and I ordered some actually from Peck Savers. And I was kind of, I didn't really know what I was doing. I'd never had an eye test really. And I certainly didn't know that they just give you the prescription. You can walk out the door without buying glasses there. And as I did, spending £164.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah, you've really gone off on a tangent here. But you started this war. So they said to me, you'll need special anti-reflective coating or something. I was like, right, that's fine. Yeah, it's fine. They said, buy one, get one free as well.
They've sold you all the add-ons.
It's buy one, get one free. So you get a pair of sunglasses too. And so when we're racking it up at the till, she said, what color lens do you want in your sunglasses? I don't care, whatever. And then at the till, she said,
whatever. This does not sound like my brother.
Oh, they all look the same because I need glasses. Everything looks the same.
Well, you couldn't see them. Yeah.
So anyway, we've got to the till and she starts racking up the bill. She said, you got your frames there. That's £69, which is what I was expecting to be paying. Then she said £35 for the anti-reflective coating, and then on the we'll put the coating as well on the sunglasses, and also for you'll need so your grey lenses and your sunglasses. That's another £15. And I was thinking, I just wanted a pair of glasses. So £164. I paid for them, and then I actually went back in an hour later and said, you know what? Because my boss. No, you started this. You started this nearly 4 minutes in. Everyone switched off.
I can imagine at this point you're walking around the town thinking, how do I tell my wife that I have pretended that I can only see dolphins when I can see letters, just so I could get some funky spectacles, and it's cost me £164.
Correct. Yeah. So my boss said, that with your prescription, which I've got my prescription, it's +7.5 in my right eye. You can just order prescription glasses online. So these, including anti-reflective coating things, were £31, including delivery. And that's exciting, isn't it? And these are it was £35 from Peck Savers, just for the coating. So winning.
And how did Peck Savers feel about you waltzing back in with you?
Oh, it was probably one of the most awkward things I've ever done.
Yeah,
because
less awkward than going home to your wife and telling you'd spent £164 on glasses you don't need.
No, I'd been on the phone to her, and I do need them, apparently. This is my test run. I don't have time to drive to Barnard Castle, so I'm going to have to just test it here. But yeah, this is my test run. They arrived today. But yeah, when I went back into Peck Savers, I was hoping that someone else might be there, and I could say, am I able to cancel my order and have my money back, please? But it was the same lady who I've been dealing with in the morning, and it was very awkward. but it's done now, and I was brave, and I saved £133 by not buying the ones from Peck Savers. Anyway, there's only 2 of us here. Let's add in our 3rd member. Here he comes. Because I wasn't on the pod last week, but I did listen, and there were some bold claims coming in about Kiefer Moore. Let's add him to stream. Here we go. Here's Ant. Hello, mate. How?
Hello, boys.
What on earth have you? What on earth's he doing? Right.
Do you boys
okay,
not remember Gareth Southgate 1996 Pizza Hut advert?
So
okay.
But for listeners, Anthony is wearing a paper bag over his head with
For
cut out eye
listeners,
holes.
I've been sat here with a bag on my head, unable to breathe, and listening to you talking about glasses for the last 5 minutes.
Mike started this.
Yeah, we should have had that chat before we went live, myself and Phil, really. Sorry.
Yeah, in hindsight, I thought, boys, after my...
Hindsight, very good. You should have gone to Peck Savers.
Right, I should have done, mate. After my shocker last week, I thought it only fair that, or only right, that I turn up with a paper bag on my head. I feel I deserve it.
Oh, mate. When I heard that Seferovic had scored twice, I at least thought, that's some good news for you.
Well, the good news was, at least I wasn't sat next to Mike when said player was scoring the 2 goals, who did giggle like a schoolgirl.
Oh, we thoroughly enjoyed that, didn't we, Ant?
Oh, we did, mate. Oh, I enjoyed it nearly as much as you.
Phil, at this stage,
Yeah.
do we tell Ant the thing I've been busting to tell him for the last 3 weeks, or do we just carry on?
I've still missed these rules, boys. I'm behind the times here. Please do put me out of misery.
I really enjoyed, because, like I say, I wasn't on last week's podcast, and I was keeping a brief eye on the Twitter, and it was just streams of abuse coming in for Ant.
Thank you.
Mainly about Kiefer Moore, and when Wales lost 4-0, mainly, it was just abusing Ant, which was lovely. It was lovely to see.
Thank you.
Then the whole Seferovic issue was joyful. So he's had a bit of a bad week, and we did have people very kindly message to explain the rules in case we wanted to share them with Ant. I'm fine if you want to, Mike. It's fine.
Okay, well let's do it, because who was the lovely? Was it Beth? FPL Beth?
Yeah, Bethany Megan. Yeah.
Yeah, so she got in touch via private message. Now we are all admins on the Twitter account. I don't tend to follow it a great deal, but a message came in explaining, Ant, have you not realised that you could do this? Which I very swiftly deleted and then private messaged and said, oh no, we probably don't need to tell him just yet.
Oh, I don't.
So Ant, for future reference, for the last, because we're halfway through the competition now.
Well, we're
more than halfway. For future reference, Ant, if you've got players on your bench that haven't played yet, you can bring them in and sub them in for players that have performed poorly for you in previous matches.
So you set up your bench with players who are playing last, so you can bring them in at any point.
So Kiefer Moore, for example, when you played him in the first game, you could have subbed him out for Seferovic.
Oh no!
I was sat there thinking, oh dear, this is awkward. Any of those players on your bench, you can continue to sub them in right up until the end of the game week.
Right before they play, right before the games start on that day, you can bring them in.
Oh, it's ripped open.
It's the face reveal.
Oh, I can breathe.
Oh, now you look like you're in a nativity.
Please bear with me.
I mean,
I can't quite believe. Like, surely, have you that you can change your captain as well, Ant?
Yeah, no, I have now subsequently read these rules. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I was scouring them today in preparation for the quarterfinals when it's all too late. And I finally came across it, and I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, the good news for you is you're still ahead of me, Ant. Even not knowing those rules, even with me playing the system.
Yeah, even with you doing an obscene amount of research, and also we're behind someone who has said on many occasions how much he doesn't care about Euro FPL, and how much he's just doing it for fun, but he's still winning. Isn't that annoying?
You can be good at things and still find them fun.
Well, this is true. But
I mean, that said, I'm not doing particularly well. It's just none of us are. It's been a car crash. The week before last, my captaincy change was just one dud to another. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, not good, boys. So, Phil, do you want to talk us through your week then?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Well, obviously, it's been an exciting week. You boys, particularly are England fans. I like England. Obviously, I'm half Italian, so we could meet in the final.
Sorry, brother.
Yeah.
I also am half Italian.
I know, but looking at you, the Italian gene skipped onto me.
All right, Four Eyes, crack on.
Please don't make him talk about his glasses for 5 minutes again.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so yeah, my game week was okay. I had in the end I had Benzema as captain. Forsberg.
That's nice.
Forsberg got me 7. Kjaer got me 6. Now the duff choice I made was just maybe 5 minutes before the deadline. I was going through this team with my daughter, and I had Marla in defence. And I said, I've got 1.9 million in the bank. Do you think I should spend it? And she said, yes. So Marla went out and subsequently kept a clean sheet and scored. But good news, I bought in Jordi Alba, who got dropped, then came on and then conceded 2 goals and got 0. So that wasn't ideal. Gosens got 0. Dumfries got 0. But 52 points. It's all right. It's all right. But I have got to wildcard because I now have 9 players that are not playing.
But that's brilliant. And you've done it the right way round. And I'm disappointed in myself. With a little bit of forward thinking, I would have played my wildcard now rather than my unlimited. So I'm playing my unlimited this week, having already played my wild card in week 3, I think it was. So what that means is I'm going to come back to a team where I'll probably have 3 or 4 players left.
But you did specifically say you were saving. I know you make a lot of claims on this podcast.
I certainly do.
You said you were saving your unlimited for the final.
I was. But as I just mentioned, I've already lost 8 players this week. So I'm kind of left with no choice. I'm going to have to use the unlimited before then. And I figured it's better to have it while I've got use of a bench over a couple of game weeks than it is to use it in the final.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Trying to make use of that bench rule.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Something I've learned, because like I said, I know I'm beating you, but I am just having fun with it. I'm not spending a lot of time on it.
Yeah.
But what I've realised is that maybe a bit of forward planning as to who teams might play might have been a good idea. Although I didn't expect Netherlands to go out. I expected Germany to beat England, and I didn't expect France to go out. So that's where I've lost most of my players.
Well, ditto. I'll talk you through my team, seeing as I'm chatting.
So I got 52. How many did you get?
Yeah, I got 46. De Bruyne is still hanging around, but limping around. I think he doesn't look in a good way.
I think he's going to be all right.
I hope so. I've lost Dumfries, and I've loved him. He's been my favourite player of the tournament.
So
I've really enjoyed Locatelli, but for some reason he's now not starting for Italy, so he got me the 1 point.
Verratti, is that for some reason?
I had Mailer, so I was pleased with him.
Yeah.
Pau Torres came off the bench and got an assist, so that was okay. Pogba, great goal, but I can't swear, can I? I don't want to swear, but what a plonker! That celebration made me want to smash the TV. Isaac, I'm going to miss that guy. I'm going to miss him a lot.
He is great.
He got me 5 points again this week. Mbappe doubled up to 10. Depay, disappointing. Depay and Dumfries. Netherlands, just... Yeah, I thought that was it was very much a winnable game.
The sending off changed, didn't it?
Yeah, completely.
They didn't know how to deal with having 10 men.
Yeah. So from my team, I lose Depay, Mbappe, Isaac, Pogba, Kimmich, Gosens, Pavard, Stecklenburg, Dumfries, and potentially De Bruyne. So I've got some serious decisions to make. Is it worth it, me spending out on transfers, or do I just hope that others around me spend? That's the decision I'm going to make next week.
You've played your wild card, but you've got your unlimited.
My unlimited is in play.
So with your unlimited, Oh, you've activated it.
Activated.
So after this week, your team's going to revert back and still have Pavard, Depay,
Yes.
excellent,
Yes.
and
And
even more problems.
Great news. Great,
Well,
great news.
I did think, I'll play the system here. I'll make all my changes and then activate wildcard.
Yeah, does that work?
Sorry, activate my chip, my unlimited. It does not work. No, it cancels the transfers you've made prior to it.
Yeah,
disappointing.
So yeah, you're going to be in a world of trouble. Yeah, I mean, really, that unlimited either has to be played in the final where it doesn't matter if your team reverts because the game's over, or in the group stages where at least you've got a chance of your players playing.
Yeah, I'll remember that in 4 years.
You will get 5 free transfers, which you've already used up.
Incredible
For the semis.
Yeah. How did you get on, Ant? We've heard about Kiefer Moore.
Oh, this is very strange, by the way, Mike, because it looks like we're talking to the back of your sofa. It's very strange. No,
it is prettier than your face.
Well, that's true. Yeah. As is the lamp in the background. Very nice. Very fancy. Very fancy lamp.
I'll try.
Yeah, Kiefer Moore, boys. I mean, as I said
Sorry, Ant. I've just seen a message from you saying, "Please hurry, I can't breathe."
Yeah, I think I sent about 4 messages saying, "Please hurry, I can't breathe."
Sorry, Ant. Mike really wanted to know about my glasses.
Yeah, I didn't. It was unbelievably hot in there, but thanks for that. Yeah, Kiefer Moore, as I think I said on the pod with Mike last week. Gonna have to. If it came off, I was going to look like a hero, and if it didn't, I'd look like a complete plonker. And as it turns out, of course, I look like a complete plonker, hence the paper bag. But 26 points, boys. So just half of what Phil got. Absolute shocker. Actually, the first really bad week I've had. I know there's only 4 weeks in here, but John Stones was my highest scorer with 6. Good old England, only team now left yet to concede a goal, so he got me 6. Spinazzola got 2. Dumfries boys like you 0. Daley Blind 1. Italian goalkeeper 2. Gareth Bale, who I was championing and telling people to get in because Wales were obviously going to beat Denmark. Shows how much I know. He got 1 point. Wijnaldum, who's looked really, really good for Holland. Been a really good point scorer for me, 2. De Bruyne 1. Insigne 3. Then up front, I had Lukaku as captain. He was doing his best not to score the other night. He got 4. And my good friend Kiefer Moore, championship legend with his single point.
I saw he got booked earlier on, early in the game. I couldn't believe it.
And there I was, got to football, as you know, on Monday night.
Yeah,
nice little flash flood. Saw the end to that. I thought, well, Mike lives down the road. I'll go and invite myself around and watch the football with him. And get there just not long after good old Severovic banged one in, which Mike found hilarious, nearly as much as I did, especially when I saw he had 10 points.
We had a lovely time watching the game together, and it
really did.
It was the game of the tournament so far for me.
Oh, amazing game. Yeah, I mean, how Switzerland came back, or put the disappointment of the penalty miss behind him, went 3-1 down and still clawed it back, and then won on penalties. But Mbappe was the one, boys, wasn't he? He was having an absolute mare. That miss in extra time when he's let it come across his body, we should have hit with his right. And both me and Mike said, as he stepped up to that penalty, he didn't look confident at all.
Can I ask you a question? Because you're aware of the captain change rule. Lukaku got you 2 points, yet you decided, oh, you know what? I'll bank those 2. I'll bank those 2 points. There's no. I can't risk having less.
I know the rules now, mate.
Oh, you didn't even know about the captaincy change?
No, he knew nothing, mate. Honestly, he was absolutely clueless.
I am going into this blind, basically. I mean, not now. I mean, it's too little, too late.
Welcome to the club. You need to get a Pack Savers, mate.
I really do, mate. I really do. Or I should have just listened to Mike, really, who really did do his research beforehand. So more fool me. So maybe my listening I've just learned here is listen to Mike more, which is not what I thought I'd say.
Here's a dilemma I've got, lads. I'm in a couple of leagues. Okay, so I'm obviously the one that really matters is the one that I'm in with you guys.
Friends.
Yeah, the one that I'm in with you is the one that really matters. And at the moment, I am 26 points off Phil, who is top of our league. Okay, so here's my dilemma. Sorry, what the heck are you doing?
Sorry, whistling into a microphone.
Why?
I was whistling "Top of the World" by was it Imagine Dragons?
Yeah,
anyway,
why are you doing that?
Because I'm top of the league.
Oh wow. Okay, right. So anyway, as I was saying,
new glasses.
So this is a big gamble on my part. But do I whilst playing my unlimited, lock in 5 defenders and a goalkeeper from the same team who I think will get a clean sheet.
Are
you
you
talking about
talking
England?
about Spain?
I'm talking about. I think I'm talking about Denmark, or I'm talking about Spain. I'm talking about
thing is, I wouldn't-
England.
Spain are
tricky one.
chopping and changing their defenders all over the place.
So do I go back 4 of Denmark and keeper and and captain one of them, locking myself in for, if it goes right, 36 points, and then I've got
If it goes wrong?
then I've got my mid. Well, it's kind of win or bust, isn't it?
No, it is. You got nothing to lose now, mate.
Not to take it back to me, but when it was Spain, maybe Spain Germany in a final, the Euros or the World Cup, I went all Spain at the time you could, or maybe it was 8 Spain, and that won me the league that year. Bold move, but it might work for you, Mike.
I think I might have to go with it. I mean, I've got some really lovely defenders that I've enjoyed that go forward, you know. So Spinazzola and Laporte, who's good at set pieces, Mounier, who we all know about, and Mailer, who I've had success with already. But if I just swap them all out and just go one team and hope that they keep a clean sheet.
Yeah, but
it's tempting.
what's the difference in going multiple teams and hoping that some of them keep a clean sheet?
It's a good point.
Well, that is a good point. Yeah, it is a good point.
Like you pointed out, there's a few who look like they could get clean sheets.
The problem
being one of the prime ones.
The problem I've got, and forgive me for just kind of turning this into a bit of a masterclass for me, but I've got people like, so I've got Lukaku, who is playing Italy, and I've got the Italian keeper and the Italian defender.
Oh, right. So you don't like that feeling?
Yeah.
Well, I can't maximise my points if that's the case.
No, but at this stage of the tournament, you're probably going to have players occasionally playing against each other, especially if you're using your unlimited.
Well, especially not if I use my unlimited. That's my point. So if I take 4 defenders and a keeper from Denmark and don't put any Czech players in, then I've given myself a really good base to work from if they get a clean sheet. Yeah. And then it's all about the other games and attacking players. Yep. Oh, I'm talking myself into it, lads.
I like the idea of the Danish back line.
Yeah. Denmark looked really good, didn't they?
They look really good against Kiefer Moore's Wales.
I mean, Wales, I think that was a little bit of both, wasn't it? Denmark were really impressive, but Wales were absolutely atrocious at the same time.
We spoke about it before, and Denmark have got this sort of team spirit that's been built around, obviously, the very bad situation with Eriksen, that literally no one can replicate and wouldn't want to replicate for that reason. But I can't. I mean, I'm struggling to think Denmark. Denmark could beat anyone. They're just riding the crest of the wave now. The whole country, the whole world, apart from the teams left in it, are rooting for Denmark. And if we get knocked out, obviously there's no one I'd prefer to win than Denmark.
I think everyone's second team now, aren't they? Now, but impressive as well. If you think they lost their first 2 games, and here they are in the quarterfinals, so fair play to them. And they've got a great chance of potentially playing England in the semi-final.
I mean, Denmark have been. If you look at the stats, they're on top of a lot of the stats, despite having lost a game. They've had the most attempts on goal, 3 times more than England, for the record.
Well, that isn't difficult.
They've had the most attempts on target, 4 times more than England. They've had the most attempts blocked as well. So all their attacking stats are really, really strong. When it comes to things like possession, so I'm looking at the defenders. I don't
he knows
know.
his stuff, does Mike?
I don't know. I need to give this some more thought, but I think that's a real possibility. Possibility.
So you've got a 2nd of July deadline there, Mike, 5 o'clock, just as an FYI, mate.
Yeah.
So you've got a bit of time in your pocket to look at this one.
Yeah, I have. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to just bulk up on one team defensively and then think about the rest of them. And actually, I think maybe it'll be Spain, because I think if I look at my midfield, lads, at the moment that I've kind of trialed, I've got no Swiss midfielders or attackers in there. If I was picking my dream kind of midfield and dream attackers, which is what you do if you're unlimited. So I think just going Spain and going big on it.
It's just knowing who will start, because Spain unpredictable at the moment.
What's your view on Switzerland? Do you think Monday night was a flash in the pan from then, or do you think they will give Spain an equally good game and potentially beat them? Of course,
I think that anyone can beat anyone now. It's a cup competition.
Indeed.
But I think, and Spain haven't excited me much. They've scored a lot of goals the last 2 games, but they've looked leaky.
I mean, you say about not exciting. I mean, that game Monday night against Croatia was pretty bonkers.
Yeah. But I mean, they're not convincing, are they? Because
no,
Croatia could have won that game.
Yeah, quite easily. Yeah, that's true.
That's what
Mike,
I mean.
What's your view on Switzerland, mate?
My view on Switzerland. I'm fairly neutral about it, to be honest. I actually talked about this being their golden generation. I know I get a lot of stuff wrong. Turkey. We can call back to that. But
yeah, that very much came home to roost.
Ouch.
But I did talk about it being Switzerland's golden generation, and I like them. I like them a lot. There's a lot of individuals in that team. They play well as a team, but there's some good individuals. Shaqiri obviously stands out. Mbolo always looks up for it. I love, and I know they only brought him on late against France, but Mbabu, I like him.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, you called that, didn't you, mate? Just quickly, I don't want to blow your trumpet too much here, but again, those 2 subs who came on, you're like, I really like these 2. I really rate them. And those 2 completely changed the game for them. Came on at 3-1.
Yeah. And Babu is down. Also, he's down as a defender on the game.
Yeah,
he's a 4.9 million defender. That when he does get a look in, he's an attacking winger. Really, he's a winger in a back 5.
Would you believe it? We're 31 minutes into the podcast, and that is the first time we've mentioned a player and their price. So
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, I make it 27 minutes in.
Oh, okay. No, well, maybe it just feels.
Oh, maybe you've deducted the time for Glasses chat.
Could well be that.
Maybe you've added that on.
It feels like an hour when you've had your head stuck in a paper bag.
Yeah. Sorry about
Your
that.
Your face does look a bit red.
Oh, mate, I am still sweating. Still sweating.
So look, what I thought we might do, boys, is go through our teams again from expensive to cheapest, like we did last week. That seemed to be a format that was popular. But before we do that, Ant, I believe you've got a quiz.
Yeah, I thought we'd do a little quiz, boys. Botto v Botto again. It has been a while. Let me just get my questions ready. Talk amongst yourselves. So, boys, as we know, first time England.
You literally give us seconds to talk amongst ourselves.
I know. I thought I was going to struggle to find the questions.
I was ready to talk amongst ourselves.
Sorry about that.
Mike wanted to know where I actually got my glasses, but no, that's fine.
No one else does.
It was the internet.
Let's call it the Pinternet.
Yes.
As we know, boys, England finally beat the Germans in a knockout game. Who'd have thought? So, on that theme, obviously the last time we beat them was back in the 1966 World Cup. So I've got some multiple choice questions based around the 1966 World Cup. So I've got 10 questions. Okay. I'm going to ask you 5 each. You will take it in turns.
Which is one for the kids.
Highest scorer wins, boys.
One for the kids.
Okay, all right.
So I've pulled one of your names out of the hat. And Mike, you're going first, mate. Are you ready for your first question?
Very much so.
So in 1966, there was 16 teams that played across the finals, but how many of them were European? Was it A8, B10, C6, or D4?
I think it would have been strong European. I mean, African nations weren't really involved at that stage, nor were Asian, nor were Australasian. I think outside of maybe Brazil, I'm trying to think of other countries that would have been involved. How many did you give me out of the 16? Sorry, how many? What are the options?
8, 10, 6, or 4?
10. Is
that your final answer?
Yes, Chris Tarrant. I'm locking it in.
And you are correct, my friend.
Yeah, good stuff.
Well done.
I mean, I have the advantage that I can almost remember it. I'm that old, so.
Yeah, well, that is true, mate. That is true.
Young Phil is just a whippersnapper with old man's eyes.
Well, yeah, there's only one of the 3 here have been double jabbed, but anyway, Phil, Phil, your first question, my friend.
Yes.
So before the tournament started, the World Cup was stolen. But who was it? Oh, sorry. Who found it? My apologies. Was it a clairvoyant called Meg, a dog named Pickles, George Dixon of Dock Green, or Walter Winterbottom?
I'll go the third one.
George Dixon of Dock Green.
Yep.
You're wrong.
Ah,
It was Pickles the dog, mate.
Of course, it was
I thought
Pickles
you'd
the
got
dog.
Pickles
Pickles,
the
Of course, it was
dog.
Pickles.
Pickles the dog, my friend. Pickles the
Ah,
dog. So still
So
1-0
sorry.
to double jabbed Mike. Right,
Thank
Mike,
you.
your second question.
Yes.
So, why did France play Uruguay at the White City instead of Wembley? Was it A, because there was a regular Friday evening Speedway meeting on that night? Was it B, because Wembley refused to cancel a scheduled Greyhound meeting? C, because not enough tickets were sold to fill Wembley? Or D, because jealous Scottish fans had dug up the Wembley pitch?
I'm going to think it's one of the two sporting. I'm going to go Greyhounds.
We have ourselves a winner. 2-0.
Yes.
Correct answer, Michael. Well done. Not only double jabbed, but he's now got double points. Very nice.
Yes.
Lovely, Anthony.
There, thank you. Phil, your second question, mate. Which of the following stadiums was not chosen as a venue for the tournament? Was it Anfield, Hillsborough, Roker Park, or Ayrton Park, which was Middlesbrough's home ground?
Do you know where Roker Park was, Phil?
Yeah, hang
Really
on.
hope it does.
Roker Park, Derby. No,
No.
hang on. Don't. No. Oh, Sunderland.
Yes,
Correct.
yes, it was.
Unfortunately,
Ah.
that's not the question here.
Oh, it's a shame. Sorry.
So, which one of those four was
Anfield.
not selected?
Anfield. Maybe that's a big surprise, and it's Anfield.
It is a surprise, mate, because you got it right. Anfield is
yes.
the right answer. So 2-1. Mike, your next question. How many games? Oh, sorry, go on.
I just like how smooth you are at this. This is very.
Yeah.
It's like you've had a little bit of time under that paper bag and you've emerged some kind of I don't know, a mix of between Danny Dyer and Bradley Walsh. It's
I love the wall.
Yeah, it's sensational.
The
Very
wall. Drop it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. What you've just said.
Don't worry, you're not missing much. Carry on, Ant. Carry on.
I love the wall, mate. I love the wall.
Okay.
Anyway, Mike, here we go. How many games did the great Brazilian Pelé complete in the tournament? Was it 1, 3, 4, or 0?
Yeah, I think it's 0.
I think you're right, mate. 3-1.
Yes.
Well, Mike is absolutely in his element. Phil, you really need this one, mate.
When it comes to football tournaments of 60 years ago, I'm your man. If anybody's tuning in for hints and tips about the World Cup in 1966, I'm all over it. We often wondered what I bring to this podcast, and now we found out.
Your knowledge of oldness is incredible. Phil, here we go, mate.
Yes.
World War II next week.
Okay. Who was the tournament's top scorer with 9 goals? Was it Gerd Müller of West Germany, Jimmy Greaves of England, Eusebio of Portugal, or Bobby Charlton of England?
Oh, let's go wild and say Eusebio.
Wildness has paid off for you, my friend. You are correct.
He was sensational in that tournament as well.
Right. I mean, were you alive?
Jimmy Greaves didn't play. He got injured, so that was a curveball from Ant throwing that in there. He was replaced by Jeff Hurst. Jeff Hurst wasn't really meant to be playing, and got a run in the team off the back of Jimmy Greaves' injury.
Well, I mean, every day is a school day. That is nice to me too.
There you go.
Thank you for that, Mike.
Okay.
Right, Mike. Here's your next question. So, Pak Du-ik scored a goal which rocked the footballing world. Which team was eliminated by his historic strike? Was it Italy, England, Brazil, or Spain?
Yeah, was it England who was eliminated?
We can safe to say it wasn't England. And this guy had a computer game named after him, because actually what he did was he ate the ball and then ran it into the net. What's his name?
Man, Pak Duik.
Yeah, there you go. I think he eliminated. Oh God, it's either Brazil or Italy. I'm going to say he eliminated the Brazilians.
Oh, you have thrown a right old lifeline to your brother. That is incorrect. It was
Oh
the
gosh, the
Italians.
last thing
was
we
the
need now is a
Italians.
tiebreaker. I'd love to talk about the fantasy Euros at one point.
Indeed. Okay, well, I'll speed this up then. Phil, here we go. Which two teams were involved in an 8-goal thriller at Goodison Park? Was it Argentina and Chile, England and Uruguay, Mexico and France, or North Korea and Portugal?
I'll go Argentina and Chile.
No, you're wrong, mate. I'm afraid. It was North Korea and Portugal. I love
Wow.
how much thought you put into that answer. I can see
'Cause-
you're bored. This is nearly as good as player or cheese, mate. Nearly as good as player or cheese.
Nearly, but nowhere near.
Mike,
The
if you
Uruguay game, if you ever get a chance, the Uruguay game was sensational for all the wrong reasons. There were fouls all over the place. Like, it's like the dirtiest game ever in the history of football. But
Wasn't that
and
Argentina, England, wasn't it?
no,
that was
seriously,
filthy?
this Uruguay game, just YouTube it. If anybody's got a
Okay.
minute, Uruguay 1966, you'll see the fouls flying in, and of course, at a time when fouls tackles these days that would have you arrested and banned for a year.
Harris,
Absolutely incredible. Anyway, sorry, go on, last one.
win this. Get this one right, Mike, and you have won. So,
All
which
righty.
team did England manager Alf Ramsey describe as animals? Was it Peru? Was it England? Was it Argentina? Or was it West Germany?
Yeah, I think it was Argentina.
You think right, mate?
Because they kicked
Yeah.
us to shreds. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, the good news for you, Phil, is that I can put you out of your misery because Mike has won, and we can end the quiz there, my friend.
Sweet
Congratulations,
relief.
Mike.
Thanks for
Thank you.
going going all out on the planning though. I am grateful for that. But a quiz about
You
something
don't
happened
seem it.
what
You don't seem it, but it's fine.
55 years ago.
Mike was alive.
Yeah, good time.
So-
Dear.
Good news for you, mate. We can now look ahead to the quarterfinals.
If
Well,
people
I'm
want,
struggling.
if people
I'm
want,
struggling.
if people want some hints and tips and some information about this tournament, they just need to come to me in 2070, and I will be all over it. All over it.
I'm playing. Like I said, I'm going to have to play my wild card, and I can't spend my money. I don't know who to buy. I don't really want anyone. I've got
Mm.
You don't want
got
anyone.
2.5 million in the bank, and I don't really want different players.
Mate, my wild card is well and truly active.
Good.
I've gone for it. I mean, now I actually know the rules,
Yeah.
which is good. So so you're struggling to spend your money then.
Yeah, I think I'm going to splash out on a elaborate defender like I did last time. That worked really well.
Mike, what's your team looking like? Do we want to do the run through of our players?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it from most expensive to cheapest, shall we?
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, mine is, I'll be honest, is likely to change. And I want to apologise now because I did change one player after our lock-in last week.
What?
Um,
I could have.
controversial.
I mean,
Kasper Schmeichel.
hello.
Kasper Schmeichel.
You were very adamant about the locked in bit, mate. Just
If it
go back a
helps,
little bit.
it was to my detriment because Schmeichel
okay.
got 6 points, whereas
Okay.
the keeper I brought in only got 2.
Carry on.
Okay, so most expensive for me this week is, and currently my captain is Romelu Lukaku.
Okay.
I will be captaining a defender though, along with my clean sheet chaos. Who's
Okay.
your most expensive player, lads?
Phil, after you, mate.
Well, it's the first time I've had an England player in the team, but needs must. Harry Kane.
Oh yeah, I'm really sorry. I've got Harry Kane as well.
Well, he
Yeah,
might be. I don't know who's cheapest, Harry Kane or Lukaku.
Yeah,
No,
Kane's 11.5. You're looking at 11.3 for Lukaku.
Oh, okay.
I've also got the Kane Lukaku combo, boys.
Oh, really? I haven't got Lukaku.
Yeah,
Who have you got up front with? Who have you got up front then, Phil?
I've got Mbolo because I like him,
Okay.
and Braithwaite for Denmark because
oh my
I
good grief!
I
Braithwaite.
think
I mean, you
you
might as well
boys-
keep them all, mate.
you boys, you come and talk to me after the quarterfinals.
Oh, I will. I
and
will.
apologise.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Okay.
I really want Braithwaite in my team. I fancy him to do well, and I think that Denmark will beat the Czech Republic, and then I'll have a player next week as well.
If he
Okay.
doesn't score, can you come on next week's pod with a paper bag over your head?
I can do. The only paper bags we've got are Morrison's. They started doing these paper bags.
Oh, they're nice ones as well, aren't they?
They're quite strong, but I can't really. I don't know where you sourced a brown paper bag. Anthony.
I think the danger is with those white ones, you look a bit Ku Klux Klan, and that's not that's not an image we really want to endorse.
Yeah, no one wants to cover up these glasses.
Well, indeed. Or hear about them again. Mike, who's your next player?
Angry.
Look, I don't know why you'd want a player called Immobile, but I'm going to go with Immobile of Italy. I don't like him, but I just thought I'd splash a bit of cash because I've got unlimited, so I might as well.
Yeah.
So you've got a Belgium striker and an Italian striker. So you're fancying goals in that one, then, mate. Fair to say.
I have at the moment, but I think, like I say, I'm going to have to try and box a bit cleverer than this. I've got to go for bust. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, I probably am expecting goals.
You've got to really. You're saying you need to pick 4 teams and not have the winner of each game in your head, and then pick from those teams. Is that what your plan is? And that way you've not got anyone playing against each other, and you're hoping they all do well.
No, in fairness, the only player I would have to take it at the moment is of my defence is Spinazzola, because he is not playing. He's playing against Belgium, and I'm captaining Lukaku. So I don't want any crossover in that respect. But what I'd quite like to do, just for my sanity, really, is to spend 90 minutes willing a clean sheet for just one team, and then crack on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I will lock in on one team, and I'm not sure who yet. But so if I do that, and as long as that team isn't Belgium or Italy, then yeah, a mixture of Lukaku, De Bruyne, Insigne, Immobile. I know it's called Immobile. Yeah, that then is possible and isn't to the detriment of my kind of bulk defense purchase.
Okay, that makes sense.
Phil, who's yours?
My next expensive is England again, actually, and that's Raheem Sterling, because I think he is undroppable. And I mean, before that game yesterday, we effectively started 7 defenders, which for me, I mean, there was no way on earth I thought we'd ever beat Germany. We just don't beat Germany in tournaments. So I was thinking, well, if we're going to go out, I want us to at least have had a go, not start 7 defenders. But I suppose that's why I'm not the England manager, because it worked in the end. It nullified their wing backs, and then in the end, at 60 minutes, he brought on players that their defenders weren't, looking forward to seeing in Grealish. So, yeah, I've gone Sterling, who, I mean, for most of the game yesterday, the tactic was give it to Sterling and hope he can run past everyone.
And thankfully he could. I mean, he was exceptional.
Yeah, he's been brilliant.
Yeah, he's come under a lot of criticism, and it does feel a bit like I'm copying you, but I did do this team earlier without any consultation with Phil, but my next player is also Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, I've got Sterling in there as well, lads. So
really pleased for him. It was... Yeah, like you say, it was one of, for me, Southgate, he is having a good tournament, but he needs to. You look at the players he's left on the bench. I think, Mike, you put a great tweet out about how do you play the 3 together, Foden, Mount, and Grealish, and the answer was to put them on the bench together. So, he took a big risk there with that really defensive lineup. But fair play to him. We got a bit of luck, didn't we? Old Muller putting that really good chance wide, but we're through, and that's all that matters. So
and fair play, like. At the start of the season, when the squad was announced, I was furious that Saka was in it and Bamford wasn't. Yeah. I still think Bamford could have done a job, obviously. But Saka's been brilliant. And for Saka to start ahead of Foden, Grealish, Mount, he was the one who was trusted in such a big game. I think it spoke volumes from Southgate how much trust he's got in him. I think I haven't got Saka in my team because I'm not sure he's going to start against Ukraine. What do you think?
Well, this is the dilemma, isn't it? Because you know that Kane and Sterling, those 2 positions are locked down.
Yes.
But actually, beyond that, in terms of attacking players, you're at a bit of a loss. Will Grealish get a start? Will he stick with Saka? Will he bring Mount back in now that he's self-isolated and has managed to train for a few days? Will Sancho get any time whatsoever?
The deal's gone through with United tonight, hasn't it, Sancho?
85 million euros, boys.
Hmm.
I mean, that's quite incredible, isn't it? You can have a player costing that much, not even getting a look in.
I mean, fair play to United, who were laughed out of town last season because they wouldn't pay the 100 million, and everyone said it was pathetic they were holding out. But actually, they've got him 15 million cheaper this summer. So
Yeah.
Fair play to them.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're looking at, and obviously England, if you look at their running, let's not be arrogant about this or presumptuous, but if you look at their running, if you're looking at assets to bring in, then English ones are good ones to bring in. You would think it's really difficult in terms of attacking options to know who they're going to play.
Yeah. Well, with that in mind, my next expensive player is Yarmolenko.
Oh,
really? Yarmolenko?
Yeah.
Blimey. He's one of the highest scoring midfielders on the game so far, though, isn't he? He's having a great tournament.
He is.
Yeah,
How much is he, Bill?
He's 8.7 million. He's got 8 points, 10 points, 2 points, 4 points. Not bad.
And he's cheap.
Well, 8.7 is not that cheap. He's my third most expensive player, but
I can't imagine many people have got him.
No, the thing with Ukraine
I think you're quite wrong with that statement. Well, 8%.
Okay.
The thing with Ukraine as well, in terms of England looking ahead to the next game, is you look at the Ukraine game last night, which was a bit of a bloodbath, wasn't it? There's injuries all over the shop. They obviously went to extra time, so they should be tired. I think an interesting element from just going very quickly, going back to an English point of view, is obviously we've had the advantage of playing every game at Wembley so far. We've had home advantage, so it's going to be really interesting, I think, to see how we play effectively in an away game in Rome. And I don't think any England fans are allowed in the stadium. Is that right?
I would say even if we play at Wembley, then England fans are, as a general rule, just irritating. So, don't. Yeah, I don't want the England fans, trashing up Rome and giving us a bad name.
Well,
yeah,
okay, yeah,
indeed.
I don't know about Yarmolenko, Phil, but against a team that haven't conceded a goal yet,
that's controversial.
He's the best choice, and we say that 8%. 8% is actually quite low, because if you think about the pool of players that people are picking from now, the percentage of anybody half decent is just increasing round by round, isn't it?
Most people won't have done their team yet, though.
Oh, yeah, maybe I'm a bit keen.
Well, no. There'll be an element of a lot of people will have done the team, but casual players might well be waiting.
At this moment in time, I've got Grealish on my side.
Wow. It's a big call, mate.
Because, actually, he started the game against the Czechs, and he got an assist. He came on yesterday and he got an assist. So he makes things happen, and he's going to be against a Ukraine team who we've just, talked at length about the fact how tired they are and how poor they potentially could be by comparison. So I just think even if he comes off for 20, 25 minutes, I fancy him to pick up some points.
Yeah, not a bad shout.
And he's cheaper than Yarmolenko.
Which is true.
Which is quite crazy. Boys, my next one, it's another striker. I'm going three up top. Patrick Schick.
Yeah.
Who, of course, as we know, scored one of the goals to knock out Holland. He's having a great tournament, isn't he? 27 points he's got so far. 17% ownership's fairly high, but I know Denmark have been really impressive. Mike, you were talking about Denmark defensive assets, but this game for me, I still think he's looked really impressive for me. Obviously scored the goal of the tournament. I don't think you're going to struggle to beat a goal that's scored from the halfway line. So he's proved to maybe be a bit of a surprise on this one. But I'm sticking him up top with Harry Kane and Lukaku.
Yeah, no, I mean he's the Toto Scalacci of the tournament. I would say so far. Kind of a breakout. This is a breakout tournament for him. I like him a lot. I mean, he's got guts. He puts himself about a bit. He's a good finisher. And he could do. I mean, for a slightly more modern reference than Scalacci.
Yes, please.
I'll see you a Karol Poborski.
Karol Poborski
could well earn himself a nice little move out of his tournament this year. I mean, Toto Scalacci. Do you know really, lads?
I was 5 for Italian 90, if that's what you're referencing.
Right. Okay. It was wonderful, wonderful times. Anyway, yeah, I think he's been brilliant, and I do understand why you're putting him in. Because yes, Denmark have been better going forward than they have been at the back, you would think. But
And
yeah, okay.
he's not Kiefer Moore.
and he's not Kiefer Moore.
You
All right,
should be forced to keep Kiefer Moore in for the remainder of the tournament.
Just a reminder.
I'll chuck you one in who you guys obviously have bypassed, but who we all got on board with the first week, and that is Insigne, who seems to have gone off the boil a little bit.
I haven't seen yet. He's 8.6.
Okay, you've got him, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, have we all three of us got him still?
Correct.
Yeah. Oh dear. Okay, well you see, he's still on the set pieces, but the last couple of game weeks, it's been a bit flat for him, hasn't it?
It has.
Yeah.
He's been a bit quiet, isn't he?
Often you see Italy will be on the counter attack and they'll just jog slowly. He'll get there in the end. But I still think he could do something against Belgium.
He is a live wire, isn't he? He has looked impressive, even though the points don't necessarily tally up with that. But yeah, so yeah, we've all got him. So who's next for you, Mike?
Beyond him, okay. So yeah, what about this guy? Pablo Sarabia.
For Spain.
Oh wow, I brought him in today too, Mike.
Oh, would you believe it?
Look at this, great minds.
So not a player I knew about coming into the tournament. I'll be honest, but he's had 2 assists and he's scored 2 goals as well. And up against a Switzerland team who do concede goals, and he's only 6.7 million.
And yeah, so he scored 21 points over the last 2 game weeks.
There you go. So yeah, Pablo Sarabia for me. Even with an unlimited card where I can spend what I want, I'm not just going to splash cash for the sake of it.
Not willy-nilly.
No, indeed. World Cup Willie, of course, the mascot of 1966. Yeah,
my next question.
Yeah, no, I like him. So you've brought him in, Ant. Phil? No,
I have. He starts for me.
He may be coming in for Berardi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I've got the feeling that Berardi, he's always going to get taken off for Chiesa at some point if he starts.
Yes,
I like Berardi. I've been
I like him. I like him.
Okay. Let's pick our, because time is getting on. Let's just a couple of other names, guys, that you're excited by.
Let me chusk a couple.
Yeah, chusk a couple in. As to maybe ones that people might not know about, or you think outside the box, or that excite you.
Okay. I've gone for and hoping that he gets fit. If I hear that he's not fit, then he won't be in my team. But Chiellini, I'm hoping his muscle injury is sorted. And if it is, I'd love him for a goal against Belgium.
Would you? I know he did get one earlier in the tournament, but his goal record, he's not prolific, is he?
That was where my tournament went downhill because he was my captain, and he did score a goal.
Oh, it was disallowed.
It was disallowed, and immediately then he got injured. So instead of going to, I think I was at one point looking at it was going to be 16 points. I got 2. That was disappointing.
Yeah. That was disappointing. For me, boys, I've got a defender for the first time in the tournament who costs over 6 million, and it's our very own Luke Shaw. So obviously England haven't conceded a goal, but also, of course, first goal came from his assist yesterday. He was getting forward more, and still fairly low ownership with 16%. And Ukraine, I mean, come on, England, this is your moment, isn't it? To quote Martin McCutcheon.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I don't like spending that much on defenders, but I've gone all out England here, boys. I've gone very patriotic and 4 England players across my team. So Luke Shaw in my back 3, along with John Stones and Spinazzola, who's been in there for me since we won.
Why don't you go all England back 4, mate?
Yeah, it's tempting, but I don't know whether he's gonna. I don't know what he's gonna do back 4. That's the problem.
Well, the back 4 that will start will certainly be Maguire and Stones, and Kyle Walker. It will either play right back, I imagine, or right wing back. And then can you drop Shaw after he got an assist and then he assisted an assist as well, didn't he?
Sure. No, you can't drop him.
Yeah, I don't know, lads. I don't know whether he will drop him. I don't know whether he'll try and freshen things up a bit.
A bit of
I don't
Pickers
think
in
he will.
goal.
This is
Pickers has done well.
I've got Pickford. But my worry is, I would be tempted to go all England, but I think if I come away from that night and we've lost to Ukraine and out of the tournament, and I've gone for 5 England players, 4 of them defenders and a keeper. You'd have to be keeping a very close eye on me that night. I don't think that would be a good idea.
I don't think
Yeah.
we're going to be able to keep a close eye on you because as soon as the game ended, a friend of ours, Lewis, dropped us a WhatsApp saying, "Right, everyone's welcome round mine Saturday night," and you responded with, "You're unavailable."
Well, it's a tricky one, lads. It's my wife's 40th birthday, but not party. It's her 40th birthday Saturday, and we have family down visiting. I made my intentions known before the tournament began. This was a possibility.
To be fair, she's given you 40 years warning of her 40th birthday.
Yeah, I mean the compromise. The compromise was reached that I could watch it with her family.
I would stick rather than twist by pushing.
Oh yeah. Well, we're meant to be at a beach hut for the day and the evening.
For a day in the evening.
For a day and the evening.
You'll get sunburnt being out there all day.
Well, my hope is, and the forecast is pretty grim. So I'm doing a little rain dance for the next couple of days.
Well, that's cheerful of you. So you
As long as you get to
know,
see the game, mate. As long as you get to see the game, surely. This is key.
you want her. The one thing she wants to do for a birthday is to go to the beach, get a beach hut, and you want that to be rained off.
I hope she's not listening.
Maybe rained off by sort of 5 o'clock.
You want Monday's weather.
And rain so torrential that her family have to return to where they came.
I mean, your excuse is far better than mine, Mike, which was that my wife has arranged for us to see friends who don't like football. And I did know about this, but I was blindly thinking that the Germans would knock us out. I don't think any of us had any faith in England winning, did we? And I stupidly didn't back England. So I was like, yeah, no problem, because if England are out, I'm not bothered. Look at me now, boys.
Surely they would understand if you rearranged.
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
They might. Your wife might not.
I was going to say, do you want to text my wife on my behalf? That'd be quite good. Turn the screw a little bit. Get me into trouble.
There will be no screws turning. That is for sure.
Moving swiftly on from my lack of availability Saturday night, chaps. And have you got any other players that you think, people should know about them?
What about Ferran Torres, boys? I'm also starting him at the moment. He is looking good last 2 games. 16 points, 20 in total. 8.1, so fairly pricey. But, as we've highlighted, they got a very winnable game against the Swiss. And 14% ownership, so not massive. So maybe one.
I see you mentioned there he's had 16 points in the last 2 weeks, 20 in total. I had him for the 4 points across 2 weeks.
Same.
And then bought him out. So I'm not.
Well, he's
I'm
not coming into form, boys. Now coming into form.
So who else is coming into form? Martin Braithwaite. Come on.
I mean, this feels like a Kiefer Moore moment for me, mate.
No. I do believe he's going to do well. Like Kiefer Moore you picked him because he had lovely shiny hair. But
he has got lovely hair.
Martin Braithwaite, if you look at the picture of him on the UEFA website, it looks like he's going, yeah, which is definitely reason enough to pick him.
Like James Brown. Get up for that thing.
I mean, if you look, maybe
I feel like a sex machine.
I don't know if he feels that way, but I definitely would bring. He's my tip for this week. He's my Kiefer Moore.
This is the guy who went from Middlesbrough to Barca, yeah?
Yep.
Amazing. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right, I'll chuck one more at you, lads, and then we'll let people. I don't know. Go and check out the Pecsavers website.
My tip would be regarding Pecsavers. Don't buy your glasses there. Very good eye tests. Don't buy your glasses there. Very expensive.
Okay. Can I just raise him? And I think I mentioned him last week already, but Mikkel Damsgaard, the bright young hope for Denmark, picked up 8 points in game week 3 and then another 6 last week. Will be playing this weekend for sure against the Czechs. And they, as I've mentioned, attacking wise, Denmark very, very strong.
I mean, Kasper Dolberg, who scored twice the other day,
Yeah,
he's got 2% ownership. He's actually $500,000 cheaper than Braithwaite. Surely
Yeah.
they're not going to drop him.
Well, you wouldn't have thought so.
No,
I mean, you could go for a top three of Dolberg, Braithwaite, and Mbolo, and then spaff all your money up a wall elsewhere.
I mean, yeah, I said we were going to finish, but actually, probably worth because it would be helpful to me as well. Thinking about who we think is going to go through from each of these semi-finals, because obviously, if you're not playing the unlimited like myself, if you're playing a wild card or you're using your 3 free transfers, you need to be picking players that you think you're going to be able to keep a hold of moving into the semi. So, Switzerland, Spain, is that I mean, you're picking on Mbolo there, Phil. You're also picking. We've got a couple of Spanish options. Who do we think goes through? Spain?
I'm thinking Spain go through, but you get 5 transfers after this round.
You do,
so Mbolo, I think Mbolo can be one of those.
You do, but let's say that you'd used your wild card already, Phil. I saw a tweet today from you saying that you had 8 or 9 players that you needed to replace.
Correct. It wasn't ideal.
So
it isn't ideal now.
So swapping out 3 of those now and then having another 5, that's still, so saying, we've got 5 free transfers next week, for a lot of people, they've got to get this right or they are scuppered. That's their tournament over in terms of fantasy.
Okay, well, obviously, if you're picking one, and that's what you're asking us to do, Spain will beat Switzerland. I think a horrible feeling Belgium will beat Italy.
Agreed.
Just on the run-in, Denmark will beat Czech Republic, and in theory, England should beat Ukraine. But then I remember the Iceland game.
It's a very different thing this time around.
I was just going to say that it does feel that way.
The Iceland game, we were a team hopelessly out of form. It was a team in transition as well. It's very different to now.
We had Roy Hodgson as manager.
Yeah, and don't underestimate the momentum that we will have built up from that win at Wembley this week against Germany as well.
This is true. Yeah, I mean, the players should be absolutely bouncing, shouldn't they? So
we're in agreement then that England. Well, I think we're all in agreement on Spain, Denmark, England. Load up on those players if you need some continuity. I'm not so sure about Belgium, Italy.
That's the one that's happened, the most, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll make a prediction that will go to pens. I think it's going to be a really tight game, and I fancy Belgium as well, but on penalties for me.
Okay. Well,
De Bruyne is injured, isn't he?
De Bruyne and Hazard are both injured at the moment.
Yeah. Well, that is a bit of an opening of the door for the Italians, possibly then.
But if news might change.
Indeed.
Just quickly.
Yeah.
Last week you were discussing Toblerone quite a lot, and there was quite a bit of feedback on the socials about the Toblerone. I mean, I sent you a video of me breaking Toblerone my little finger, and
very manly that was.
I got very weak little fingers, and my method is just to snap it off. It's very, very easy. Just snap it off. But we were sent in a method of just pushing the peaks toward each other.
Incredible.
Ooh,
it's revolutionary. It really is. I mean, I need another Father's Day so I can get another big one to test it on.
Wow.
But push it together. You should try it.
Works.
Yeah.
Just push it together.
This has been an education for all of us.
The tip of your mountains on your Toblerone at the top, little pinch together, and it just comes away at the bottom. And it absolutely blew my mind.
The tips are the most vulnerable section of, the peaks are vulnerable. So I would suggest give it a centimeter just at the top before you start pushing, because I think if you push the peaks, which is obviously what we're all tempted to do, you end up with broken peaks.
Nobody wants a broken peak.
No.
Well, there we go. I mean, I hope folk have learned something tonight, be it Toblerone, be it warning off of Specsavers, or be it fancy football.
Who?
Or the 1966 World Cup.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And we'll be back ahead of the semi-finals, lads. Hopefully, still in a buoyant mood and feeling patriotic.
Let's really hope so, mate. Let's really hope
I
so.
could be double patriotic. I could have. I could then have a 50% chance of winning the tournament.
Phil, quick question for you, mate.
Yeah,
could it be an England-Italy final?
it could. And I was talking about this at work today. We could, hang an Italy and an England flag outside the window. And
so, is that for you? That's win-win. Then you don't. Do you actually care then if that was the final? Who won?
Come on.
I mean,
Come on.
I've lived in England longer, as in my whole life.
As in you are English.
Apart from holidays, I've lived in England more than Italy.
Right.
So obviously it'd be nice for England to win. I've watched Italy win the World Cup. I've watched Zidane headbutt Materazzi. It was lovely. So, I'd like England to win, but it does soften the blow knowing that I've got an Italian flag I can wrap around my naked torso and then send you photos of.
Oh, wow, okay.
Well, on that bombshell.
Yeah,
Phil, I'll let you sign off.
Well, yeah, I mean, you never know. That may happen, but as we discussed, Belgium might beat Italy, and then the flag will get put away for another year and a half until Qatar. Is it? Let's not get going on that.
It's a World Cup.
So yeah, I hope everyone has a great quarterfinals in the Fantasy Euros. Ant now knows the rules, so he should be top of the league.
Watch out, boys!
Next week. And thank you to everyone who got involved in abusing Ant online and in sending over the rules in case Ant didn't know. There was definitely a 50-50 split on people who cared about you, Ant, and people who didn't understand you.
Just a bit like my real life, really.
Absolutely, yeah, very true. Polarizing. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for listening and watching. If indeed you're doing that, I hope you enjoy my new glasses. I've got a very thin head, so everything looks big.
Bye bye now.
Bye bye. Bye bye.